Welcome back. We're getting right to it. Joining Mike Epple now. We're all eyes on the Bank of Canada. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Melanie. The Bank of Canada is set to announce interest rate policy this morning. And this is going to be an interesting announcement because they're not going to change interest rates specifically. The benchmark's going to hold where it is at 0.25%. But with all of the stimulus money coming in from governments, whether it was the Trudeau government's budget earlier this week or the U.S. Stimulus to the trillions of dollars, which is expected to have a spillover effect on the Canadian economy in the months ahead. And then you've got the vaccine rollout starting to accelerate, and the second half of this year potentially looking much better. Bank of Canada today could sound a little bit more optimistic about where it sees the economy. And does it start pulling back on bond buying? And now we get into the nuances of what central banks do and how they affect the overall credit markets. If they start pulling back on bond buying, well, that sends bond yields up, and that affects the mortgage market. So we've already started to see mortgage rates climb a little bit, and that could be a trend. Does that slow down the real estate market? A whole lot of things we'll be watching for in the Bank of Canada's policy announcement this morning.
Indeed, all tied in. All right, let's talk about what a lot of people are doing, and that is streaming. They're all at home. A lot of people checking things out on Netflix, but have they run out of things to watch?
Possibly. Netflix did not add as many subscribers as the market was expecting in the latest quarter. They still did fine. 4 million new subscribers
no big deal.
Is pretty good, but it is slowing down. 1 million is the forecast for this quarter, and Netflix says, look, the economies, the production of new shows has slowed. They just haven't been able to ramp things up. They want to spend something like $17 billion in new shows. So they're going to churn a little bit here and ramp things up going forward. But has the pandemic boom time kind of come to an end or slowed down for these streaming services? And the net result is Netflix is down 8.5% in pre-market trade. And, what was the last thing that actually was new on Netflix? Bridgerton and Cobra Kai were big hits earlier this year and late last year, but nothing really in the zeitgeist right now, is there?
That's true. And you know what? There's so many different streaming services out there that people are sort of jumping around,
That's true.
forgetting that they have subscriptions too.
Disney has had a faster production rate, I think, right now than Netflix has.
Yeah. All right. Amazon. While we're talking about people being online, Amazon and Whole Foods. What's happening here?
Amazon is showing off some new technology to streamline its checkout process at Whole Foods markets. Kind of creeping me out a little bit when I think about it, that they'll have a scanning system to basically wave the palm of your hand and pay for your groceries. I don't know if that's much different than, I suppose, the fingerprint Touch ID on Apple devices or any smartphone technology. But at the same time, how this works is your palm print will be connected to your credit card information somehow through Amazon. And they say this is not going to result in job losses, which I thought was interesting. They have to kind of nuance it a little bit whenever they make these types of announcements, that you'll still have a cashier there to scan your items and things like that. But wave of the future.
There it is.
Right. Yeah,
that's the tagline.
Scan
I see it. There's something about a fingerprint versus your whole hand. There's something there for me. I'm not sure about it.
Retina technology. I don't know. I'm
not into it. Finally, you were pretty excited about the Apple announcements yesterday.
Yes, and they are coming out with AirTags.
That's what you wanted. It's kind of like the tile.
The tile, exactly. Stick it on the back of your device. They're, I think, priced, I saw $29 each US, and they're coming out pretty soon, actually. But Apple is upgrading the Macs, a whole bunch of new colors for the Mac computers, and new in-house computer chip technology to make them even more powerful. The iPads are getting an upgrade, and it's interesting how Apple makes these big announcements. It's when the products actually start to roll out and the sales momentum that they generate that actually moves the market. So the stock hasn't done too much of anything. Nevertheless, Apple is not slowing down in its production rollout, and looks like some big products to come. And Apple, they'll make a little bit of money from it.
Just a bit, yeah. All right, Mike, have a great day. Thank you.
You too.
6:17 is your time right now. Coming up next, calls continue to grow for police across the GTA to have body-worn cameras as a way to help improve the justice system. We'll bring you that story up next.